So I have seen a lot of people struggling with alchemy in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to make your first potion. If we go over to the desk and we go ahead and click Start Alchemy, which was the prompt that we saw down below me, you will go ahead and pull up your book. When you do so, you can go straight over to your book and read it. Upon reading it, you actually not need to just look at the image that you see on your right. You still want to look at what it says over on the left. It says the key thing, you will need wine, 2 handfuls of chamomile and a handful of sage. And then obviously you've got the instructions on how you want to go ahead and do it. So let's go over to the prepare table. Let's go to the prepare table. Now the first thing we want to do is with the cauldron, we want to look up to our left and we can see spirits, oil, wine and water. Well, in this case, it needed wine. So we would go ahead and we'd pour the wine into the cauldron. So here we go. The wine is now in the cauldron. And then with doing that, we want to go ahead and continue looking at the instructions. The next part of the instructions would say 2 handfuls of chamomile and a handful of sage. But this is where you need to be careful. This is where you will need to read what is happening in the red text underneath. So add the chamomile and boil for 1 turn. Then grind the sage and add it to the cauldron. So don't add the sage before the boil. Make sure you do it in the exact step. Otherwise you will not get the exact alchemy or potion that you're looking for. So as we see there, add 2 handfuls of chamomile and boil for 1 turn. What does it mean by 1 turn? Well, if we look up to the right of the cauldron, we can see that there's a sand glass. If I go and press A on the sand glass or whatever the prompt is for you, we can see that the sand is now running down. Once that is run down to the bottom, that has had a complete successful turn. What we could do though, we could see the wine is not boiling. So we would then go ahead and move this down so the temperature starts boiling the cauldron. Upon doing so, we want to try and heat up a little bit quicker. We could go over and we could pull on the rope, the bellow that sees there, and makes the fan boil it even stronger. So we could do that, or we could even move it up if we want to reduce the heat if we think it's good enough. And you could still, for instance, bellow the fan and boil the water at a certain heat. It's completely up to you how you want to do this. Before you boil it, what I would personally recommend doing is looking down or up to your right, bringing up your inventory, and in your inventory, going ahead and selecting both chamomile and sage. Once you've gone ahead and clicked on both of them, you will see that the bags appeared on the side. So if we look at the bags, both bags have appeared, meaning they're both there. Once you've done that, you want to hit the confirm button. So we've hit confirm. We want to look at the chamomile. We want to go and grab 1 handful. Look at the cauldron, go and drop it in. Go and grab a second chamomile. Do the same, drop it in. Now we could go and grind the sage now, so you don't have to worry about it afterwards. So let's go and grab the sage. Let's look down at the mortar. Let's make sure we go ahead and grind that by pressing A. And we can actually leave that there ground until we have done the boiling process. So as we saw by reading the book, add 2 chamomiles and boil for 1 turn. So let's look at that. Let's leave that there for a second. Let's go and look over here. And now looking at the bottom left, we can see grind the sage and add it to the cauldron, but after we have added the chamomile and boiled for 1 turn. Once you've done that, then you want to go and pour it out. So let's go back. Now that we've got the chamomile in there, we've got the red wine in there, we want to go ahead and move it down by pressing A. Move it down. Once it starts boiling, let's go ahead and pull the bellow to make sure it's boiling. We're going to look at the sand glass and we're going to turn it. We're going to turn it now. Once that has fully gone down to the bottom, we will remove this off of the heat. So just give it 1 moment. And bam, the sand has run out. So now what we'll do is we'll go and move the cauldron up. We'll look down at the sage that we had earlier. We'll go and drop it in. So there we go. The sage is now in the cauldron. Everything has been boiled. The only thing you want to do now is pour it. So how do we pour it? Well, that is simple. We want to just look down here at a vial. Look at the cauldron. Hold the prompt. For me, it was hold down A because I'm on Xbox. Pour it into it. And there we go. We have now got our chamomile brew. So if that's what you were looking for, and that helped you out, make sure you leave a like, a follow, a comment, and subscribe. And if there's anything else you would like help with, leave it down in the comments down below and I'll try my best to bring that video to you as soon as possible.